Are Elon Musk and Donald Trump discussing crypto policy? We get to the bottom of this story. Even President Biden's election campaign is now reportedly reaching out to crypto industry players for guidance on policy. Why exactly is Bitcoin becoming such a hot topic during this election cycle? We look into how a crumbling financial system could be at the root, and how Bitcoin is at the forefront of a technological, economic, and political revolution playing out before our very eyes. Welcome to Bitcoin Daily. I'm Hurley, Director of Content Strategy here at Swan, and again, I'm covering for Dante this week. Breaking news. Earlier today, Bloomberg reported that Elon Musk is now discussing crypto regulation with former President Trump. But Musk himself has denied this, tweeting this in response. Pretty sure I've never discussed crypto with Trump, although I am generally in favor of things that shift power from government to the people, which crypto can do. That's a very interesting response from Musk, indicating to his 185 million followers on Twitter that crypto can shift the power from the government to the people. More on that a bit later. Regardless if this news is true or not, Trump and his campaign clearly can't stop talking about Bitcoin and crypto. He has clearly seen the undeniable potential to motivate millions of single-issue voters to cast theirs for him as president in this year's election. In related news, Joe Biden's election campaign is also reportedly seeking guidance from crypto industry players on crypto community and policy. Sources have told The Block they noticed a significant shift in tone from the Biden administration and campaign towards crypto, and a new willingness to understand digital assets and their communities. It's kind of hilarious to see this unfold in real time. As we get closer to this year's election, the leaders of both parties are realizing that alienating 1/5 of the voter base is not a smart strategy. Now, we should take this chart with a grain of salt, as they grouped it incorrectly, but according to the data from Grayscale, 20% of the types of assets currently owned by investors is Bitcoin and crypto. We also have policymakers like Cynthia Lummis leading the charge in Washington, educating politicians on Bitcoin. Here's a clip of Lummis on Fox Business, where she underlines the importance of Bitcoin for the U.S. economy in the future.
Well, when I came to the U.S. Senate, nobody knew anything about digital assets. Nobody knew the difference between Bitcoin and alternative coins. And so we've worked hard to educate members of the Senate. We created a financial innovation caucus. Kirsten Gillibrand and I put together a financial framework for the management of the entire crypto industry. We now are seeing some of the fruits of those labors, planting the seeds of understanding within the Congress about how this asset class is growing, how Bitcoin is a store of value and a means of exchange, how Ethereum is possibly a blockchain platform that can be used for a variety of applications. So this is an industry that's starting to gain the attention of everyday Americans, and it's going to be an important part of our economy going forward unless we blow it.
So why is this huge shift in public opinion happening now? Could it be because interest on the US debt has crossed the $1 trillion mark? Eesh, that looks bad. Could it be because unrealized losses in the US banking system has increased to $517 billion in Q1 2024? Or maybe it's because total global debt has grown to a whopping record $315 trillion. The entire world is slowly waking up to the fact that the current financial system is completely unsustainable, and it's headed for outright catastrophe. The Fed now even admits that countries around the world are moving away from US treasuries and into gold, but they say it's a small group. Well, that small group represents 3 billion people from China, India, Russia, and Turkey. So 37.5% of the world is moving away from dollars and into sound money. That doesn't seem so small to me. Large nation states may be turning to gold now, but it's our belief that the game theory will inevitably lead them to the asset that is the ultimate expression of fiat debasement. And that's Bitcoin. Check out this clip of Jack Mallers talking about this.
No, I think it's the best expression of fiat debasement. It is the antithesis of fiat currency. It has no central bank. It has no government. Its monetary policy is fixed. Its supply is capped. It's everything that fiat isn't. And so if your problem is fiat debasement, then it's best expressed through Bitcoin. So you're taking the opposite. It's a put option on the existing system. It's long vol, right? Like, I don't know, I'm talking trader speak, but that's what you want. And traditionally you try and find that through something, right? Gold. Here's this collection of chemicals that like kind of gets me close. Real estate. In theory, they can't print any more land. Does that mean they can't print any more real estate? No, of course. I mean, I'm sitting here in fucking New York City. They could build pretty high buildings, but like, I don't know, I'm kind of close. Bitcoin is the only instrument in your portfolio that we humans created to solve this exact problem. Everyone has their own interpretation of the white paper, but I mean, come on, give me a break. Satoshi, right after 0809, created it and said, central bankers, I can't trust them. And so this is the best expression of the problem at hand. And so, and in more plain speak, what that means is that it goes up the most. So for those that, need to put two and two together, that means it's going to be the most performant. So why does Wall Street want it? I have been more performant than Ken Griffin for 10 years. That's why they want it. People aren't stupid, right? You either have to work 10 times as hard to outperform a Bitcoin holder, or you just own Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is quite literally anti-fiat money. And this has now become my favorite way to explain it to no-coiners. Bitcoin was engineered and programmed by Satoshi to have all the positive attributes of gold as money and none of the defects. I usually like to ask no-coiners this question. Knowing everything we know about fiat money and inflation, how sure are you that the dollars in your pocket will continue to go down in value over time? The answer is usually 100%, as history has shown. On the flip side, knowing that Bitcoin has a totally fixed supply and the network has done nothing but grow in every metric since its launch in 2009, what are the chances that Bitcoin will continue to be worth more when priced in ever-inflating dollars going forward? This is the crux of the investment thesis for Bitcoin. If fiat debasement is guaranteed and Bitcoin supply is truly fixed, which can easily be verified through the code, then Bitcoin will increase in value more than every other asset in the world over time. I'll leave you with this short clip of Michael Saylor from his recent interview on what Bitcoin did.
There's a movement afoot, and we can see even as of this week, there's a sea change, and there's just a broad worldwide consensus that we need something different than the ideas of the last 30 years. We need something new, and that manifests itself in a groundswell of support for Bitcoin, a groundswell of support for crypto, a groundswell of support for digital assets, and a new way to see the world on Wall Street, on Main Street, on Capitol Hill, in Europe, in Hong Kong and London, etc. And so this is maybe the most exciting time, in my life and maybe in the history of Bitcoin. I think it's a pretty exciting time.
We are at the forefront of a technological, economic, and political revolution, and Bitcoin is at the center of it. So pinch yourself and be grateful that you're alive to witness this monumental shift for humanity in real time. That's a wrap for today. I'm Hurley from Swan.com. Keep stacking, keep educating, and love one another.